When Lil Jeff was shot and killed by Trap City Rob on June 8, 2024, the entire city felt it. Jeff wasn't just another drill rapper, he was known as Bloodhound's enforcer with a name tied to real violence and serious pressure. After his death, the Bloodhound snapped. July through the next summer, Chicago was in chaos. They targeted anyone connected to Trap's achieving cousins and sisters. It didn't matter who you were, if you were linked to the other side, you were a target. This wasn't about music anymore. It turned into a manhunt, and it all began the day Jeff was left dead in the street. Lil Jeff was killed on 66th and Rhodes. Over 40 shots were fired in broad daylight. When police arrived, the shooters were already gone and the block was already recording. Jeff, one of the most feared young members of the Bloodhounds, was just 21 years old. There was no mural, no peace, just silence and sirens. Jeff wasn't chasing fame or clout, didn't drop music often, but his name was known all over Chicago and Milwaukee, not for rap, but for putting in work. By 21, he was rumored to be tied to over a dozen bodies, especially in Milwaukee, where people say bigger. Crews paid him to handle street business. They called him in when they needed someone serious, and Jeff delivered. Back in Chicago, Jeff stayed active in the streets. He didn't care for internet beef moved in real life, but by early 2024, things started catching up to him. Monty and Lil Rob, two people linked to BKN, were gunned down. Word on the street said Jeff was behind it. Monty had even posted a video mocking the Bloodhounds, flashing a chain just days before. Weeks later, Jeff pulled up to Trap City's neighborhood, spotted someone named Glenn in yellow shorts, and chased him. But Trap City Rob was waiting. Before Jeff could make it inside, Rob opened fire. Jeff was hit multiple times, mostly in the chest. It wasn't random, it was a targeted hit. A full-on execution. Video of Jeff's body in the street spread fast. Drill pages blew up. MF Visuals posted his photo with a broken heart emoji. But in this world, love never stops the violence. Jeff's death marked the end of an era. One of the youngest, most feared street soldiers from the South, seduced by crews from out of town, feared in his own city, was gone. Just like that. The same night, Q501 of Jeff's close friends posted a photo of them together on Instagram. Across it, he wrote, "Folks, my big brother, my twin, my other half. Just like you said, this ain't gonna make me better, it's gonna make me worse. I'm done crying. I'm just gonna do what you told me to." No names, no threats, but everyone knew what he meant. It was quiet, but retaliation was already in motion. In the days after, the Bloodhounds turned Jeff's name into a war cry. Q50 dropped a rough SoundCloud snippet titled "Long Live Jeff," and fans flooded the comments with LLJ and "We sending up." Vert posted a story with the message, "On my daughter, you know what time it is. I'll cry later, shorty." A clear sign smoke wasn't over. The violence didn't stop. Everyone on the streets knew more was coming. And the first victim? CEO Hawam from the Risky Road gang. On September 25th, 2024, just after 8 p.m., a black Chevy with Risky Road plates rolled through 78th and Maryland Bloodhound territory. Someone inside opened fire from the passenger side, but the Bloodhounds were ready. They fired back, and one shot went straight through the windshield, hitting 20-year-old Cherie, aka CEO Hawam, in the head. He slumped halfway out the car as it rolled into a mailbox. Police scanners picked up the call. Male with gunshot wound to the head, barely breathing. Hawam was rushed to Trinity Hospital, then transferred to Chicago Med. But on September 28th at 1:44 p.m., doctors pronounced him dead. Within minutes, drill pages and locals posted tributes. But to the Bloodhounds, it was a moment to taunt their enemies. This hit wasn't random, it had been building for months. The tension started when Shorty Mob allegedly stole a gun from an ESD member. Then Bloodhound affiliate Lil Scoom tagged Lil Mo, a Risky Road member, mocking him on Instagram. Even Reddit caught on early. Users in our Caracology said it clear. Bloodhound and Risky Road are beefing because Shorty Mob took a pipe. Scooms dissing 30, Q50's doubling down, and that's exactly what happened. Q50 dropped a reel called Risky Road, and fans spammed it with devil emojis. Risky Road members responded in the comments, and Q50 dropped a diss track with no subtlety, F Risky Road. He name-dropped people, directly daring them to respond. That's when Hawam decided to act. He slid through Q50's block solo, thinking it'd be easy, but Bloodhound shooters were already out there. They shot back. One bullet ended the mission. 3 days later, the morgue confirmed Hawam was dead. Bloodhound never claimed the hit publicly. Q50 just posted a devil emoji over a news screenshot. And just like that, Risky Road's social media went quiet. No arrests, no public statements, just another name on a growing list. Z Money, Lyle, Monty, Lil Rob, Jeff, and now Hawam on the South. Side scoreboards don't reset the reload. But the revenge for Jeff wasn't over yet. Trap City was about to take a major loss. One of their most important members, Trap City Vale, also known as Carter or Vel, was killed in what many called a targeted execution. But what shook the city even more was what happened just days later. At Carter's funeral, as family and friends gathered to say goodbye, gunfire erupted outside the funeral home. The victim this time? Carter's own sister? Carter was killed in October 2024, and rumors started flying online. TikTok, Reddit, and drill pages were all saying the same thing. Carter had been deep in a feud with the Bloodhounds, and his death may have been payback for Zony Jeff's cousin. His name had been popping up in diss tracks. His crew had bodies, and on blocks like 81st and Peoria, Carter's name held serious weight. Q50 even hinted at being involved during an Instagram live. He didn't say names, but everyone got the message.
I'm getting about we ran folk deep in the rack. On the way back, I had to catch us a hat. Trap City down till they get back. I'm talking about cause it's a pack, he should never lack. I heard his photos is dumb, get called back, you won't make it back home. Call the nigga, try to looking down at his phone. Lil Pool did Z, now Lil Pool gone.
Then came the funeral in Harvey, Illinois, a moment that should have been about mourning but turned into another tragedy. Reddit and social media threads lit up with posts describing the chaos outside the service. A drive-by shooting hit the crowd of mourners. People dove for cover. In the crossfire, Carter's sister Romeo was fatally shot. The news barely covered what really happened, but the neighborhood knew. Videos surfaced, online screams, in the background cell phone footage showing people hitting the ground. One chilling comment went viral. Going to your brother's funeral, not knowing it's your last day alive. Praying for the family, praying for the parents. This is a different kind of pain. We got one life, y'all. The message was clear. It wasn't just about revenge anymore, it was a warning. Bloodhounds weren't playing by the old rules. They wanted everyone in the city to feel it. The funeral shooting shook Trap City and triggered a new wave of retaliation. At that point, the line between the streets and family didn't exist anymore. Carter was buried, but the war didn't stop. His sister's death was a turning point, a sign that even funerals weren't off limits. And that's just what made it to the internet. The real Skorevi, whispered names, the revenge hits that never make the news, the backdoor betrayal soul of that, stayed buried. In wars like this, not everything's meant to be seen. Some things are for the streets only. Then came the TMC slide hit. Just when it seemed like the bloodshed had slowed down, the name Lil Jeff made headlines again. On May 13, 2024, news spread that TMC Slide, a known member of TMC 6300, had been shot in the head. The streets went crazy. Same day, Bloodhound 079's own Lil Jeff hopped on Instagram, live basically taking credit. Didn't name names, but his tone said it all. Slide was on life support, and Jeff casually hinted that he got the job done. Drill pages, TikTok feeds, and Reddit threads lit up with reactions. According to fans, and the Bloodhound 079 wiki slide was sitting in a fishbowl, a car with no tints, showing off his jewelry. That's when Jeff allegedly spun the block, caught him lacking, and opened fire. After that, he jumped on live, flexed the hit, and let the streets fill in the blanks.
Grandmother head is somewhere on the left bed, dying, if not dead, dying this moment. Got hit in his brain.
Over on Reddit's archaeology users broke it all down, they claimed. Lil Jeff and Q50 were riding around when they spotted TMC Slide sitting in a car with no tinted Vendausa. Fishbowl. They circled around, pulled up next to him, and fired a shot. To the head, one user said they believed Jeff did it alone and Q50 was just riding with him. There were no police reports and mainstream media never picked up the story. All anyone had was Jeff's Instagram live and word on the streets. Some Reddit users said Slide survived but was left brain dead. Others said he died, but the body was kept quiet. Months later, a TMC member spoke in an interview saying, Slide was fine, but that only raised more questions. The truth was unclear. Maybe Slide is alive and just laying low. Maybe he never recovered. But either way, the streets haven't forgotten. If Jeff's life was real, something major definitely happened. Then in December 2024, rumors started spreading that Slide finally passed away. Drill pages posted candle images, but just a few hours later, the posts were deleted. One Reddit user cleared things up, writing, "It's not a mystery. He was on life support. They pulled the plug." His people didn't want to give Bloodhound the credit, so they said he was in Cuba, but everyone knew that was a lie. They just hoped he'd pull through, but he didn't. Now, Slide's status feels like a ghost story. Some say he's brain dead, others say he's in rehab out of state, but Jeff's IG live still hangs over everything like an open case, and every time a TMC chain pops up on Instagram, fans flood the comments with LL. Still waiting on the truth, but not all the losses were on TMC's side. Just a month after Lil Jeff's death, the Bloodhounds took another hit on July 7th, 2024, exactly 30 days after. Jeff was killed on 66th, and their name got added to the list. 18-year-old Assyrian rapper Lil Scoom, aka Scoom89, was shot twice in the chest at 89th and Langley, collapsing on very block he used to shout out in his music. Cops recorded the time as 11:50 p.m. By midnight, the scanners were calling out. Male down, gunshot wounds, juvenile hit. Fans watching IG lives were shocked. Bloodhound's youngest voice was gone before his music even left the neighborhood. Scoom wasn't an industry artist, was street-grown, known for raw singles like Caught On and collaborations with Lil Jeff and Nolimi. Pharaoh, he had beef with FBG, Cash Lil, J Memo, 600 and even. Dissed a Lil Durk affiliate in a track he dropped back in June. Later, his mother told bloggers she had spoken to him minutes before it happened, that he told her the vibe felt off. According to Detective Scoom and a 16-year-old friend, got into an argument with a man standing on the curb. The man pulled out a gunshot. Scoom twice hit the friend in the leg, then fired at cops who were nearby before vanishing into the neighborhood. Signal Records posted the obituary first. We lost our heart tonight. A witness filmed part of the scene of Scoom gasping for air while officers tried chest compressions. Lil Scoom didn't make it long. He was rushed to University of Chicago, but the doctors didn't take long to make it official. The streets lit up with Rip Scoom tributes, but the comments were already counting losses. Bloodhound, 2 down ops. Smelling blood. Rumors say the person who did it was someone Scoom dapped up earlier that night. A quiet backdoor move that showed how trust means nothing. On 079, no arrests, no suspects, no answers. Just a new set of candles under a faded long. Jeff tagged the shooter vanished, and every knock at night on Langley now feels like karma getting ready to slide back. In just 1 month, Bloodhound's pride turned into pain, and the block was already whispering who might be next. Looking back at everything that happened, you gotta ask what really started all this bloodshed between Bloodhound and Trap City. If you trace the timeline, some say it all began with Z-Money's death on March 16, 2023. Z-Money got gunned down at 79th and Kimbark. One burst of gunfire dropped the 22-year-old Bloodhound soldier, and with him the decade-old peace handshake between Bloodhound 079 and Trap City was broken. That one move turned friends into enemies and reset the South Side. War to 0. Before Z-Money's death, the two sets were like twins, same ops, same grind, same streets. The beef started small. Lil Jeff had snatched a chain off Trap City's Carter during a dice game, posted it on IG, and flexed hard in the streets. That's more than just disrespect, it's a federal level insult. It meant war. Reddit called it early. Crazy how Jeff and the dude whose chain he took both ended up dead over this. Jeff pulled the trigger, but Trap City picked Z for payback. On that March afternoon, the sedan boxed in Z's car at Avalon Park. A window rolled down from the drum let loose. Z never made it out of the driver's seat. There were no arrests, just Trap City rapper Lil Cap tweeting "debt cleared," then deleting it. An hour later, Jeff felt that Los Hevis started the beef. Also lost his cousin 3 months later. The Get Back came on June 25th, 2023. Galgones of Trap City was sitting in a lift near UIC. He was making moves until a micro Draco chewed through the car door. 7 shots hit. Cameras caught the bloody scene as the car peeled off with bullets still flying. Cops had no suspects, but the streets knew it was Get Back for Z-Money. Jeff didn't just stop there. That summer, a video leaked. Trap City's muscle surrounded by bloodhounds being forced to spit lyrics on camera. It went viral fast. Trap City's comments went quiet, and Jeff's fans filled the post with coffin emojis. It wasn't just about chains anymore. It was about humiliation, revenge, and showing who really ran the block.
I see it.
But Jeff wasn't done stacking bad karma. January 26, 2024, lunchtime, downtown Chicago. Two teens, Monty and Lil Rob, had posted Jeff's stolen watches on Snapchat, thinking the loop was neutral ground. They were wrong. Infiniti SUV pulled up under the Washington Wabash L stop. Three masked shooters jumped out. 15 seconds of non-stop gunfire. Both Monty and Rob hit the pavement while crowds screamed. Later, CPD named the shooters as Sis Slick Lil, Jeff, and J-Mo. The indictments didn't come until a year later, but the streets already chalked it up as bloodhound justice. Every body that dropped made the next hit feel inevitable. These deaths still haunted Jeff. Lol's blood pulled Trap City deeper into the war. Monty and Rob's murder showed no one was off limits, not even kids, not even in public. What started as a snatched chain turned into a non-stop cycle of funerals, hashtags, and TikTok panic reels. In this war, every retaliation creates a new reason for revenge. Every killing feels like a trailer for the next one. And that chain? It never showed up again. And 0679? It's been broken since the day Z hit the pavement. Both sides got drums, stashed, ready to go, waiting to add the next name to the scoreboard. There's no peace, no making up. Just tinted rentals creeping at red lights, poles on laps, and eyes in the mirror asking, who's next? For now, the streets are quiet. All it takes is one diss, one spotting, one move, and it's war all over again.